All right, so welcome everybody to the Sacred Rhythms Forecast, as we like to call it. My name is Roberta Robbins, if you do not know me, and I have my lovely friend Nancy Reed with me. And since we're in a bit of a different platform, meaning on my personal page, I'm just going to give a little what we do and what's going on for everybody. And welcome to everybody, because normally we do these in my Cosmic Earth Weavers group into the community. And if you guys want to join that, it's a intuitive soul community, a lot of beautiful souls in there that are healers and coaches and magical individuals, people with beautiful gifts. And it's a community where people are getting to know each other. They're sharing their wisdom. They're offering workshops. They're taking moments to like strengthen their gifts by being of service to each other in different ways, and without the pressures and the sales tactics and all those things, just us showing up and getting to know each other and being of service in different ways. So normally that's where we are, but we're here on this beautiful, bigger platform today. So welcome those that are joining us, and welcome anybody that comes to the replay. So we do a monthly forecast energy blending, astrology, numerology, cardology, the sacred rhythms, the wheel of the year energetics, and a tool of energy and guidance that are coming in with these to support ourselves, support you, we hope, but it's mainly a collective energy. So we say take what resonates with you, but these things are, because we do more of an intuitive one that we've started doing with card readings, which we'll do on Monday. This one, we're really anchoring and giving you some key things to look at, dates, and that. So for those that love to do that, get your pen and paper, get your calendar, because it's always good. Nancy and I ourselves, we get our calendars because, as Nancy goes, there's something she says, I'm like, oh yeah, and vice versa. And for anybody that doesn't know, I'm in the Blue Mountains area of Ontario. Sometimes you can find me also in this lovely extra green place called Ireland. But back home here, enjoying our lovely summer that we're having here in Ontario. And Nancy's on the west coast of Canada, out in Vancouver area. And both of us, we've come together these last couple of years in different ways, but we both love everything that we're going to talk about: astrology, numerology, intuitive guidance, messages, working with spirit, working with our higher self, supporting others with various magical gifts that we have and that we know a lot of other people have. And that's why those people tune in to get some guidance and also to inspire. So Nancy, do you want to add anything, or how's the weather out west today for you? You're just waking up. It's morning time.
I was watching the wind blowing on your lovely cloth behind you, and yeah, like just watching it just feels like this beautiful summer breeze. And I was like, well, over here we are still in, I guess we could call it January. It's like we have had such a range of weather this month. It's like we either have 27 degrees and glorious, or 13 degrees and pouring rain. There doesn't seem to be much in between. And it really reminded me of that energy of June, right? Like just that duality and that change and the 5 energy. Like, okay, we can flip and we can flop and be all over the place, and we can be okay in it, right? So anyway, today is looking cloudy with maybe some chance of sun. We'll see. But anyway, it's been marvelous no matter what. But there's something about that cloth that's just really drawing me in today. And I feel like that's the energy that is being invited in for us in July. And just as you started speaking, you said we were talking about the technology and changing our sails. And it was just like, this really strong image just came in of just like literally that, like being on a sailboat and just being like, yep, okay, I can easily change direction. It does not need to be difficult. We can transition from this month of June into July with ease and grace and pure joy. June and July, joy.
Well, and interesting, one of our things together, whether it was this forecast for last month or the card reading that we've started doing together too, weekly ones. I was like, get me at a Gemini season. It's not usually one of my favorite seasons. Like not the season, the month and energy, but I mean like the energetics of Gemini and that duality and back and forth and a lot of the air energy, so the mental energy. So now that we're officially in Cancer season, now that's super, like I'm loving the flow and the energy, the softness and the water energy and it landing, connecting more into us. So yes, this breeze that's there with that, it is that flowy, almost watery kind of feel that's coming in. I must say for weather out here, we've had some really hot weather last week that you just didn't want to go outside. It was just so hot. Like it was feeling like up into the 40s Celsius. So that's, 100 and something Fahrenheit for those of you in the States, because we know we have a lot of connections and friends and people from the Cosmic Earth Weavers that are in the States too. And you guys go with the Fahrenheit. So it is a little cooler and there is a beautiful breeze today. So if you guys are joining us live, and I'm just going to check over, is there any comments or anything that you can see there, Nancy, as we've landed in and given people some time?
Not yet, but keeping an eye on it.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. The redirection. So allowing ourselves to feel that transition for this month. So moving into the energetics of why Nancy and I are here to offer just this. What is the energy? What is the flow of the essence that's coming in as we leave June? Because as we're doing this video today, it is the 28th of June. The kids are officially off. And I believe today, at least in Ontario, today was the first day of summer holidays. So there's that feel of summer and us transitioning into a new month and a new feel of things and new schedules and routines, right? There's a shift there. So allowing ourselves, wherever you are, wherever you come into this place and join us, allow yourself just to breathe into that. Can you feel what June has felt like for you up to this point? How we have literally just a few days left. How on Monday we will actually come into July and Canada Day celebrations. And then a few days later for those in the US, we have the Independence Day on the 4th. Can you feel that transition? Because it's always good for us just to take that sacred pause and feel what the difference is. Is there a difference? And also just to reflect. And that's going to be one of the themes that came in. So I'm going to talk about that, about the themes that when I was sitting with this, the energetics of astrology, because I definitely lean more to the astrology, the sacred wheel, and then the intuitive guidance that's coming in. As you guys that are new to us will know that Nancy then also picks up a lot of the cardology and numerology, and then we're weaving all the stuff together. So allow yourself that pause, that sacred pause. And even as we go from Sunday to Monday, take that moment. Say thank you. Look, do a little reflection of June and all the gifts and all the things. Breathe it in, and then allow there to be a closing so that you can step in, or whether it's a closing, feeling like a closing of a month, a closing of a book, or stepping over into the next month or walking through a door. Allow there to be a next energetic so that there is a new fresh start and nothing's pulling or dragging from the month past, right? So with where we are, you heard me say already that we have left Gemini season. We left Gemini season on the 20th because we had summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. So Cancer season started, Sun entered into the Cancer season. So now we're in this fresh new zodiac sign, a fresh new season of summer. And there's just this new brightness and energy that we feel that comes in. And we're moving more with water energy because we are in Cancer season. Cancer is ruled, its essence, its element is water. It's ruled by the moon. And interesting enough, we got a lot of moon stuff to talk about this month, but that beautiful moon, the mothering, the home, the intuition, the midnight summer dreams, right? The fireflies, like there's just like magic that also just starts coming in. And so we're with Cancer season right till July 22nd before we shift into a fiery Leo season. And energy will just shift in a different way, right? So take this time as we're in it to embody it and feel it and allow it to support you. And Nancy, do you want to say anything that you're noticing as we're shifting in energetically from this month to the next?
Just so as June, we were in a 5 energy month, which so is calling for freedom and change and evolution. And both Roberta and I are 5s. And so we do love that 5 energy. 5 is like the heart in your body. It's that connection to all, but it can also feel a lot, especially for those who aren't comfortable in it. And so it's like, okay, what did you learn? What did you experience? What did you feel this month? Really, what did you feel? What from that do you want to take with you as we transition into this 6 energy month? And this 6 energy month is composed of that 1 and a 1 plus 5. So it is bringing those beautiful lessons from June forward into July with you, but that 1 energy of that freshness and newness. So it's like, it's inviting them forward, not dragging them forward, if that makes sense. So it's like stepping into this softer energy. Like I love a 6. And so Roberta and I are also, she's a 6 of spades, I'm a 6 of clubs. So there is that 6 energy that we really appreciate as well. But that 6 is that warm hug. It partners so well this year with that Cancer season energy, right? Of just that returning to home, returning even deeper into your heart. We spent a lot of time in June talking about connecting with your heart, but now it's like, okay, we've connected. Now it's like, love so deeply and allow yourself to feel that love for yourself, for your community, for those around you, and let it be more of an outward expression this month. Like, go hug everybody else. Like, maybe not physically, that's, or if you want to run down the street and hug all the strangers, but
ask for permission first.
Exactly. Or maybe just mentally as you're at the beach, on all of your summer adventures, just really sending love to all of those around you, whether you know them or not. Like let's use this beautiful month of July to like amplify love in this world.
I'm gonna write down the amplify to my love theme that's already got here, but the amplify, right? Just allowing that to bloom and to wash with the water through you, through your emotions, how you're feeling. Let it move anything that needs to be moved and that feels a little heavy, a little too much still maybe in your mind. Allow that to move. I did those in the Cosmic Earth Weavers group. When we shifted the seasons, I did do a guided meditation that to help us move through those seasons. And the meditation was just reconnecting the head, right? The mind into that heart again. So if you need some extra little support, we do have that over in the Cosmic Earth Weavers group just to help you with that. But, allow that to keep going, that flowing, the amplifying love and flow through your month. I love that. Some of the things when I said it was like, after I sit with the astrology and everything that I'm noticing and, think about it, it is a 6 energy month. And if you guys are wondering, I don't know what you guys are talking about with these energy of these numbers. And you're going to hear Nancy talk a lot about cards and numbers here. She's already talked about the 6 of spades and 6 of clubs, because that's our ruling birth card, sun card number. We also have over in the Cosmic Earth Weavers, we did some workshops on that, and they're free. You can go them there in the library if you want a little extra information and how to figure out your own. Just adding that in because we got extra different people here in the community. But sitting with these energetics, I had the coming home to yourself more, the landing, the flow coming in. It's a reset month too, because of the two full moons in Capricorn, which I will talk about. So there's a reset into that. And not, so this coming home to self, it's a reset in fine-tuning who you are now, because that's been a big question. We've talked about that. Who am I now? Who am I? So there's support with that sixth energy, with the Cancer season, with there's just so much support for us coming in, and the astrology with it too. And it's time to dream again. I've been talking a little bit more in some of the calls, and even in my personal dream about dreaming, and almost feeling like, how do I dream? Like, these last few years have been just challenging for everybody in different ways, in multiple ways. They're not just one thing. It's multiple layers. And there almost has been a bit of a disconnect. We had to let go of certain things, future envisioning, dream casting, goal setting, because we're just our system got overwhelmed with not kind of being able to do that as strongly or as well, because we were having to navigate so many other energies that were coming in, and things are undoing. But there's this energy that has started to come in to say it's okay to start dreaming again, and start putting the future energetics. Remember, and to get that and have that, we have to come here first into ourselves to think, what is that? So we're almost this month has given us that opportunity. It's it's okay to come into dreaming in your what you want, what you desire, and those kind of things. And then also focus, of course, like Nancy said, on love, amplifying, as Nancy said, amplifying. We also have home, things of home and nurture. You might find yourself wanting to do different things around your home, create more. I see more white and air and flow and movement, cleaning, clearing, but a very comfortable, cozy also. So lightening your home, whatever that might look like and feel like. I just have kind of what that was feeling for me, but there's almost a lightening and embracing the beauty of your home. And that might be just getting out in your garden more, right? Expanding out beyond the walls that you live in. There is a lot of past reflections that might be coming in that will also help you with your dreaming. And of course, our relationships, partnerships, all that are in review too. So that's a lot of energy that's flowy, emotional. What do you think, Nancy?
Absolutely. And the dream bigger. I don't know how many times I have this written down on my notes as well, right? Just that invitation to not only dream, but then to allow yourself to take that even further, and beyond your wildest dreams, and to allow that space. And even in that, as I'm saying that, it's to not control what you think your dreams should be, to just let it flow. And so those of you in the Cosmic Earth Weavers group know that I like to create essential oil blends for us for each month. And so one of the blends that I've created for this month is Dream Big and then Dream Bigger. And the background of this is on this beautiful ocean. And it's just yes, let the ocean take your dreams out into the universe to come to fruition, and let them keep bringing it in and bringing it out. So there is this really lovely energy of just allowing, I feel and really sinking into that allowing space, and surrendering and knowing that you are fully supported. Just looking down at my notes and what else, allow yourself to laugh, and really those deep belly laughs. And maybe that means you've got to go find your favorite cheesy comedy and put it on, if it's something that you don't feel like you can access easily at the moment, but creating those opportunities for you to feel that laughter, to open up more, to be able to dream and to play. There was something else that just had come in there. And I was like, oh, but I've lost it. That's okay. It'll come back if it was meant to be. But just, and I love seeing like the astrology that Roberta will go into more to specific days, but even like the numerology of it this month is just really supporting this for us as well. Not only just with this 6, but the way that it flows throughout the weeks. Like we start July off in this 7 energy, which is like calling us higher. It is asking us to take that leap. Sometimes leap of faith, leap of belief, but believe in yourself and believe in your dreams. And then we move right into the 8 after that. And this is that 8 energy year. We have the 8 showing up at least 4 times for us this month, which is so beautiful. It's supporting us with flow and abundance and manifesting and belief and all of that, and also that strength. So don't forget about your own inner strength this month. I have that written down as well. And then we're going to flow through the 1 through 9 cycle. So that's like the manifestation cycle. And if you want, once again, if you want to know more about it, we have workshops in our group, but also just trust your own intuition and your own inner knowing. What does that mean to you when I say, oh, 3 times this month, we're going to work through a cycle of 1 through 9. It's like there's time to flow and flow again. And it's like, let your ideas, your dreams grow, and then let them grow again, and let them grow one more time, and to amplify them, helping them come into fruition. We're also going to have a lot more heart energy. So Sunday is the first time we have the hearts this year. So so still in June, Sunday, June 30th, we have the King of Hearts. And that is that make that return to love, return to our hearts. And then in July, we get to experience the King, the Queen, the Jack, and the 10 for the end of the month. So just remembering that we are getting more and more supported by that heart energy as we move through this second beautiful half of the year. And so don't give up on 2024. We, like so often I feel like we hit the summer and people are like, oh, this year is done. And it's like, no, like we are like, think of that 8, right? We are just smack dab in that middle. So like, what beauty is coming for this next half of the year? And like that we get to step into it in this 6 energy month with more love, more strength, more dreaming, and more possibility. So that's what I'm seeing as an overview in the month with the cards and the numbers.
I love that. I've put my numbers in for the day numbers. I haven't gotten to my cards yet. But it's a beautiful reminder of, yeah, like this Sunday, the King of Hearts. And then like just like feeling into the last of like you said, the last few days of July, where it's building, the heart energy is building. And I also added, that 1 to 9 cycle is so important. Like we have this beautiful flow, which is just supported with that water energy and that movement and ease. There's just an ease. There's just so many things that are supporting us for July to keep things moving. Now, I think it's, as I'm saying that, if we can imagine that things can get even faster, I think things will flow even faster this month. Fortunately, I don't know. Is it a good thing? But I don't. It's just what life is these days, right? The time, it's whatever. But because there's such a movement and a flow, make sure you're taking those sacred moments, right? And so important. Like you guys hear this, you hear before you go to bed at night, think of the things from the day that were just beautiful, the gratitude that you want, the blessings, like do that, because it's just helping you breathe it in, anchor it in before the very next day starts again. And there's just so much more blessings. I like to do that just as a mental thing for myself at bedtime, along with my clearing of the energetics of the day and all the things, but also what was just the beautiful highlights and giving thanks for them. So remember your sacred tools and your, all the things for this next month ahead. And yes, there is a lot of 8 days, which is my personal energy day. So like I love the eight. And knowing that, like me said, we're in the whole year of an eight energy, supporting each and every one of us. And then it's my personal eight energy year too. So, I love when I see all the eights showing up in so many different ways. And let's not forget, do not give up on this year. I think my sense and intuitively what I'm seeing and hearing is this second part of 2020 is going to be the part of the year where there's going to be more lightness and ease and flow. Astrology, there's some things that are just final phases, really getting going. So yeah, don't give up and do that 6 months reflect. We're at that, that 6 months reflection, what has been, what you've enjoyed, the celebrations, and dream. What is the next 6 months? What do you want to call in? What, at the end of this year, what do you want to be able to go, yeah, I manifested that. I experienced this. I improve, blah, 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 because that's, something I set for myself. This is a beautiful time, right? To do that. So going into astrology, this is where if you guys like to make sure you have these highlighted little dates. I kind of take the top notes of certain dates, and then Nancy will go into top notes of certain things she's seen with certain days with numerology, cardology. So we've already talked about the energy being a 6 energy. I also want to say I see the Lover's card with that. Anybody that's into tarot and that archetype of the 6 card, which is the lovers, right? That blending, that union that we see with partnerships and love, but also that Lover's card is about a choice. When we see that card come up, and I'm bringing this in because it's a 6 energy month in numerology, the lovers is also like a choice that needs to be made and something to empower yourself. So how do you want to empower yourself? What choices do you need to make, right? What changes and flows and getting clear. The other card, sorry, that was coming in for us was the 6 of Cups. And, I always think of, especially Chris Ann's, the Light Seers deck, the one where, she, if you guys follow, do any of these cards, and I know a lot of you know exactly what deck I'm talking about, but there's this beautiful, the cups, the trills from childhood and of a young boy with a puppy down to, in the cup, it goes like the cup trail down to the man now with his grown dog kind of thing. But there's this energy that within that is this reflection is, oh, there, sorry, I'm like, look, that cup right there, it's the reflection, it's the memory. And I said, when I said what I was catching for the energetics is that there is it's a perfect month to also have a little bit of that dreaming, to go back, that reflection of what journey we have been on. And I think that is, sometimes we have someone coming from the past and our childhood and different things coming in, that our card also says that, but we also see that was a 6 energy, but also there's almost like remembering dreams, remembering things we wanted. And that childlike, Nancy and I have been talking about childlike energy, and this is amplifying, right? And some of our dreams and things we wanted, whether it was in childhood or just somewhere along the way. Like if you're 50 years old, there's a lot of different things you can, go back and reflect and what's to come with you, and what maybe is changing for you even in those little dreams. So adding that into also this month ahead of us for July. Like I said, we're in summer solstice or summer summer now, which is Lilith energy or season or midsummer as of August 1st. So this next month of July, we're really, if you follow the sacred wheel of the year, we're harnessing that kind of energetics for midsummer energy before we go into Lunasa. So really embodying that, just taking aware, if you're someone that celebrates that and understands those seasonal cycles, the fullness is July of this part of the sacred wheel. these moons, I want to get into the moons because there is a big thing. We have two Capricorn full moons. We just had one that came in right after our summer solstice or happened. So we had full moon in Capricorn at 1 degree, for those of you that understand the degrees on that. If you don't, just let all that flow just by. But meaning we had this beautiful Capricorn full moon on the 21st of June at the very first degree of the sign. So every zodiac sign runs through 29 degrees, like well, 0, actually 30, 0 and 3. So it's right at this beginning, this freshness. And we're going to get a full journey of that energy in Capricorn. And our next one is the 21st of July, is the next Capricorn full moon. So then it's at the very last decan. So just kind of like knowing that we're going through the energetics of a full spectrum of Capricorn full moon and that illumination of like, what are the new structures? What are my new like responsibilities that I want to have? What's maybe too rigid? What karma is finishing up? Like all these things about time, like let it go, maybe restructuring your thought of time. So we're going through a full kind of phase of that, and we're getting the 2 full moons. So the next one, like I said, that we will experience will be on the 21st of July. For those of you that would like the extra little info on that, it would be 6:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time that day. So that's 3:17 a.m. on the Pacific Coast. If you really like to know when is that really like peaking at its illumination, its fullness. So the other big thing that's happening with the moons is our new moon in Cancer, which will happen on the 5th or 6th here. Let me just look, the 5th, July 5th, which will be 6:57 p.m. In my time, Eastern Standard Time. So 3:57 out on the West Coast there. We have our new moon in Cancer, which is all about, the emotions, and the moon rules within that sign, right? But it's the new moon, it's the darkness, it's the really deep. So if a lot of deep emotions kind of come in to reset you, just embrace that. Embrace the like nurturing and going in to reset things. So those are our moons that are coming. So the new moon, which is our first one that we'll get in Cancer, July 5th, and then the second Capricorn full moon on the 21st of July. What I want to talk about why this is also special besides the 2 Capricorn full moons is this is a reset in the moon cycle. And so what I'm meaning by this is we will now go that the new moon will be the first thing that we come across each month, and then the full moon. We have been working 15 months now with the opposite. We've had the full moon first and then the new moon in the month. Now we're going to be resetting. So as of July, we get our new moon first in the month and then our full moon. And that's a natural cycle and flow. We want that new moon, right, to help us in that darkness of the quietness, the introspection of ourselves and our dreams and where we're wanting to go. And then the energy builds, right, to get to the illumination of the energy of the full moon. So this is going to help, I think, a lot of us, especially those that may have a lot of placements with moon, like, your Capricorn moon. If you're a Capricorn moon, ruling moon, you might be feeling this in certain ways. If you're a Capricorn sun, like the Capricorn stuff, but also if you have a lot of Cancer things in your natal chart, you'll be feeling this in different ways too. Cancer is my rising, but there's extra flow for those individuals. But I think it's just going to help all of us, especially those that are very aligned and work with the moon and very attuned to it. I know myself, I'm very attuned and feel the moon energies. And so we've been almost working upside down and backwards. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, it almost gives, first of all, there's the flow again. Okay, as of July for the next 14 months before it will flip over again. So we have this ease and support of things moving more easily, right? Our dreams are manifesting what we want, and the building and the energy, and then it coming back down. We won't be upside down or working so hard against a current. It's almost like we've been a bit of work. Like, friggin' man, anybody else raise a hand, say yes if you're here. Like, have you feel like you're kind of like, I've been doing all this work, but nothing's working, or those kind of things. There's going to be more support. So this is a big thing about that reset in July of that moon cycle. So just if you don't take anything from this call, take that this lunar reset is happening. That's really going to support us for the next 14 months. Do you want to talk anything about, before I go into just any of the retrograde kind of things that are going to go on, about the dates and the times and what you're noticing around that, Nancy?
What am I looking at? There we go. I'm like, what day is that? It was like, just with the new moon energy, is that it has the 2 energy. So that's like partnership, connection, starting to see things in the physical world that you've maybe been feeling inside. So like that mirroring back energy. And it's also in the cardology is the 10 of diamonds. So it's like infinite possibilities, all these options presented in front of you. And so with this new moon, it's like, okay, what is it as we reset? Oh my God, you don't even know how much I loved hearing that. It was like, oh, ding, 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 right? And also being aware of that, like, oh, okay, in 14 months, that's going to happen again. That's just totally shifted how I feel like I'll approach things. And I'm like, oh, so thank you for that gift from this. So in that, okay, we have this reset, we have this new energy. What is it that you want to manifest? What do you want to keep believing? Which path do you want to choose, knowing that all of them are right? So you can't go wrong. That 10 of diamonds is all of these possibilities. And it's not about getting in your head and being like, well, which thing do I do? It's that supported with that 2 of trusting and knowing that any path is going to lead you to where you're meant to be. And so that just felt really beautiful with that energy, and like that Cancer energy of just being held, right? So it's like, just enjoy it. Don't overthink it. And then the full moon in Capricorn on the 21st, we have that 9 energy, well, partnered with the 7 of clubs. So it's like, big release, just whoosh, let that 9 energy support, letting go of those things that are no longer serving you. Shake it off is what I have written down. Just like, okay, here we go. Let that all go. The 7 of clubs, it's like helping you be aligned with your thoughts and what your true inner higher vision is. So it's okay to let things go, because your body, your soul, your heart knows what you truly want. So don't work really hard that day. Just let the numerology and the astrology wash away what is no longer serving you. Like, you don't have to say, if you want to go out and burn things because that feels good, for sure do that. But don't feel like you have to. I feel like often people are like, oh my God, it's the new moon. Or full moon, sorry. I've got to go write out all the things I'm releasing and actively work at it. I feel like with this Cancer energy, this 9, this Capricorn, let it just be easy. Let it flow right before we go into that fiery Leo energy that's coming 2 days later, right? But just let the water support the release in that. And then just a couple other days that I have here. I just noticed that Tuesday, July 9th, is a 6 energy day, partnered with the 6 of diamonds in a 6 energy month. And so it's like that, there's a lot of power in that day. So we've just had the new moon the day before. So it is a ripe day for being very clear and allowing. This isn't about getting busy. It's about allowing all of your beautiful manifestations to start to come to fruition. That harvest energy, right? Like, it's time. Like, I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to intentionally go and harvest some of my herbs that day, things like that. Like, what can you harvest in your garden physically that you can then see, so to allow all those other things that you want to come in. It's like a lot of six energy is to do with karma, right? And karma is not good or bad. It is what it is, right? But allowing it to come to you, what is meant to come to you, and knowing it's from your heart. Like, people, I feel people get really scared around that word karma. There's been a lot of, and I feel like it's misused. And so, like, using this beautiful 666, like, to be like, yeah, like, what do you want? What do you want to receive? You've got, if we are going to talk about karma being good and bad, you have so much good karma that you have created through lifetimes. Let it show up for you on this day. Yeah, and I think for the time now, I'm good.
I love that, you know, that just highlighting that 6/6 energy day in our 6 energy month, and talking about karma. You know, it has a lot of Saturn energy to it because the karma, Saturn, Lord of Karma, is one of the archetypes energy to that. And with Capricorn energy with the 2 full moons, I mean, Capricorn's ruled by Saturn, right? So there is that that miss, like, how we want to look at that. So maybe there's also that, take that moment of resetting and flipping over maybe what you feel about that, about karma, and embracing how that aligns within you, in your belief system on that too. Because that is a good one, because a lot of times it's like, people, you said people get afraid when they hear the word karma. People get afraid when they hear Saturn. People are like, no more Saturn, because, you know, Saturn comes with some being responsible and integral. Like, it takes energy and work and focus. So karma, energy, work, and focus. What do you want? What is that belief? So an extra powerful day for lots of different things there. I have some of the retrogrades I want to talk about that are coming up. So first of all, at the end of this month, meaning tomorrow, from when we're doing this, we have Saturn being a Capricorn sun, and Nancy's a rising Capricorn. You know, we know Saturn. We know that Capricorn Saturn energy. So Saturn is, the planet is going retrograde as of June 29th. So that's tomorrow from when we're chatting right now, in Pisces, which is the last zodiac sign of the wheel, the zodiac wheel. Very watery. It's a water zodiac, and very dreamy, out there, cosmic, highly sensitive and intuitive energy. So strong Capricorn or Saturn energy with, you know, that feels very earthing, grounding, responsibilities, is going retrograde in watery, feminine Pisces. Now, of course, Saturn sits in Capricorn. Capricorn is a fire, or sorry, feminine sign, but there's this, like, it's reflecting. So anytime we hear, just to tell you guys this, when you hear retrograde, it just means that you get a slow down and a review and a redo, a rewrite kind of energy of what's going on. So Saturn is doing this in Pisces, watery, the end of the cycle too, to really learn and bring in some, what is the balance? What is a new way to work through those Saturn energies in your life?
Mm-hmm.
And it's happening in Cancer season, which is another water, you know, as you've heard her say. So Saturn retrograde, June 29th, all the way, it's going to go direct on November 15th. Okay. Then on July 2nd, we have Neptune going retrograde until December 7th. So that Neptune is actually rules Pisces, but it's that dreamy, out there, cosmic, expansion, new way, new earth, new how we want to be envisioning a very highly intuitive working through the dimensional, the cosmic realms and the cosmic waters of things. So it's going retrograde, and we will get to review a little bit of that energetics, how that feels and where we place that in ourselves. We will have also Chiron at the end of the month, July 26th, go retrograde to December 29th. Chiron's that wounded healer. It's the healer where we become the healer, we learn, right? But our wounds, you may have, it's happening in Aries, the very first sign of zodiac, fiery I am. So there's a I am, looking at these deeply, and it's a review of like maybe reviewing how far you've come through things, how that becomes how it has becoming part of your healing or who you are, right? So you may get some things that are reminding you of that, or that you want to go back and not to traumatize yourself or stay. That's going to be your choice point, but to go, how can I love that and embrace that and just witness that and love it up? Okay. So Chiron, July 22nd, retrograde. I want to talk about, we will experience the shadow period, as they say, of Mercury retrograde. Because Mercury will go retrograde next month, August 4th to the 28th. Of course, we'll talk about this more for August, but we'll have that shadow period, as they say, which is 2 weeks prior to when it's actually in its retrograde. So meaning sometimes we start to feel the essence, because it starts, the planet doesn't actually spin backwards, if any of you are thinking that, the planets don't go actually spinning. It's just the way they start going back over parts of degrees in a sign for a little while to retrace something. So it's just a moving back of some over through what they just went through. Now they want a little repeat. So that will be around that full moon, when that will start, the full moon, so the 21st of July. Just remind you, Pluto, dear Pluto, man, I can't wait till Pluto gets fully out of Capricorn. Just saying, I just want to give you guys someone else that new to me that is an astrologer, Gregory Scott. My friend Deborah Jones told me about Gregory Scott. She follows him. I started following him just a few days ago, and I went back to his January, like his Capricorn 2024 thing for Capricorns. And Lily, he said, and I was like, damn right, it's been like this. We've been living as Capricorns in a long, hard winter for 15 years, and we're getting out of it once as Pluto gets out of our sign. So if you have a lot of, whether you're a Capricorn sun or you just got a lot of things going on in your Capricorn part of your chart, once Pluto gets out of this completely, because he's been doing a little back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn. He's trying to leave Capricorn and get into Aquarius. So he's in, just remind you, he is retrograde right now. May 2nd is when he went retrograde. I can say he's a he, okay, just for some reason. Pluto went retrograde on May 2nd and will go direct on October the 11th. So there is that moving back into that Cancer, those last couple degrees of, Capricorn, before it gets really in there. So just know that that is a backstory. If you're aware of Pluto and what Pluto's doing for all of us and collectively, and new earth, new ways, like it's huge. So we're just in that last phase of those things too, just to keep that in awareness with our retrogrades and our reset, because that's a huge, Saturn is huge and Pluto is huge right now. So just want to highlight those for those that love the astrology, and key little top note dates that you hear and see a lot more of. Back in the day, it was all you heard was, oh, Mercury's retrograde. Now we're hearing more about the other planets and what they're doing. A big, beautiful month. Last month, it felt a little more, there wasn't as many, like there was beautiful things, but there wasn't as many big, you know, hitters, kind of like, I mean, hit in good ways, like change setters, like, hey,
Mhm.
please take note of me. This is big. 2 Capricorn full moons, Saturn, Pluto, like those things, like take note of the 6th day that, sorry, I can't remember what day was that, the 9th?
The ninth, correct.
Yeah. Like take note of that day. Take note of the energetics of the 2 day on the new moon. Um, that 10 of diamonds, like what Nancy was talking about, like there is, mark those babies, like these things in your calendar and take a moment and pause into them. So, Nancy, anything you want to wrap us up with?
Um, just really remembering to continue to return to your heart, that this beautiful 6 energy month of July is really inviting harmony, peace, and ease, which always comes from you. So no matter what else is going on, like we are so lucky with all of these energetics that are shifting and changing and helping us support things. But the point of power and choice is always within us. And to really trust and know that you are held by all of those beautiful things that we've shared with you today, and to step into your heart and express your heart outwardly this month. Enjoy the water, enjoy the flow. You heard me say at the beginning of the month, like June, July, joy, joy. Like, so amplify that joy wherever you can in your life and witness it, acknowledge it, be grateful for it. When it happens, remember that it is something you chose. You chose to be joyful, and celebrate yourself for that. It's easy to sometimes to not acknowledge the joy that we have in our life, like because it's just there and you're like, oh, and it's like, but the more, like all things, the more that we recognize it, express gratitude for it, the more that it's going to show up for us. So maybe have a joy journal this month.
Yep. All the childlike fun plays, get out in nature, see those fireflies at night, enjoy the full moons, enjoy the water, the warmth of the water, your lakes, your bays, your oceans, whatever that you're around. Enjoy all that and allow it to seep in and kind of like plant in you. So it's really growing and creating a different frequency that's running through you. So thank you, everyone that has joined. We've seen some people come in and out and some comments. Hi, Rosalie. And those on the replay, if you catch us on the replay, say hi to us and catch us on Monday too, July 1st. Nancy and I are going to be doing our weekly card reading. So we go week by week. We each have cards that we pull and truly are giving that support and guidance for each week of July. And hopefully we'll have things running and working, connecting over to the Cosmic Earth Weavers. If not, you may see as one of these our group pages here. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy July. Thank you, Nancy. And I look forward to those blends that I know you'll share over in the Cosmic Earth Weavers group. And enjoy these last few days of this month of June. Bye for now, guys.